I'm a freaky person. As a united community, I think we can do more, way more. We went to the church about 5 p.m. and we did it.
That's hot. Hi, I'm Dan James and welcome back to THOT Ones with Freddie, where we sit down with some queer talent over some snacks and the food stays the same, but the questions get spicier. This episode we are with activist, model, philanthropist Elton McDuffus. Hi.
Hi.
How's it going?
It's going good.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Of course, I'm happy to be here.
Just aggressive mouth sounds. When it comes to dating, what are your red flags and green flags?
I'd say someone who starts out by saying, I've dealt with a lot and I'm ready to commit to someone. I think that's a red flag.
That's a red flag?
Yeah.
Why?
Because if you're ready to date, you don't need to tell your date that on the first date. Right? You've been healed, you're ready to move on, then you're fully prepared.
You can just show it rather than telling it.
Exactly. And the green would be someone who shows up with intentionality. Maybe bringing a gift or something to make the date seem unusual or out of the box.
I think a red flag for me actually is on dating profiles. If someone uses the limited space that we have to tell you what they're not looking for, tell me what you want and what you know you're looking for. Don't tell me like the people that you hate.
Exactly.
But I know I did used to do that. Like in my twink years, I was like, I don't want someone who.
Kids will call me old now. I'm like 36, so this year.
Have you started getting people calling you daddy?
Since I was 30.
I think it's like a 30s thing. I have like 22-year-olds been like, daddy, no.
I remember I was like 28 and I was like dating this guy and we got to that point and he was like, yes, daddy. And I was like, what?
At 28?
Yes.
About you?
And I said, what? And he was like, yeah, don't think about it.
You were an activist for queer rights back home. What do you think queer people in Canada could learn from the queer community in Jamaica?
A bit more boldness. I feel as though because there's freedom here, people are more reluctant to be a bit more bold. What I would want to see more, especially for trans rights in Alberta, those things are being compromised.
I think there's a lot of people in our community, like the broad community, that are very comfortable with like the rights that we have, but there are so many parts of our community where those are under threat or they don't even exist yet. It shouldn't necessarily fall, I think, on trans people to be having to fight
for
themselves all the time.
As a united community, I think we can do more, way more. And that's how it felt in Jamaica. We felt like we were fighting for the same thing. We were fighting for a community and not just a part of a community.
Now, can you tell me some more about like the process of you getting here? I know Rainbow Railroad were involved with that.
Yes.
How did that come about?
So in 2018, I was a visible face in the activism in Jamaica.
Yeah.
We were getting bold, stronger. We were having Jamaica Pride. My face was out there in the public sphere. So I became a target. So my home address was compromised. I reached out to a couple of friends and they're like, I think you should leave. It's not safe. And I reached out to Rainbow Railroad. And it so happened that they were in Jamaica at the time. So I met with them and they were able to just assist me in leaving.
Was it hard leaving that organization and those people behind?
Of course, definitely, because we became a family. I was
Yeah.
working there since I was out of university for 6 years. It felt like a cop-out, like you're leaving because you don't want anything to happen to you, but also there are people who are willing to put their lives on the line just so that they could have some level of freedom. When I was here in Canada, oftentimes I had imposter syndrome. I'm like, I don't deserve to be here. My first Pride, I cried.
Was it like a guilt or something?
Yeah. I felt guilty that like I'm experiencing this and my community back home will never get to have this level of freedom.
Have you been back since?
I did. At first, I was crippled with anxiety. When I went home, I was greeted with love from my family. It was almost surreal. I didn't believe that it was happening.
Freddie is a safe space for the queer community. Tell us about your first time in a gay bar?
My first time here in Toronto in a gay bar, I went to Church Street. I went to Cruise and Tango because that's where it was.
Yeah.
I was just taken aback because I'm like, people are allowed to just be free. The queens are performing. And then when you're a new face in town, everyone wants to buy you drinks.
Yeah.
So I felt like the it thing. I felt like
a celebrity for a night. Yeah.
So I was getting drinks. I would go to buy a drink and the bartender would be like, oh, someone paid for your drink already. So I was like, okay, like I like it here. So
Oh, wow.
every week after that, I would go to Cruise and Tango.
And did people keep buying you drinks, or they were like, no, you're not you anymore?
Not you anymore.
What's your biggest sex ick?
If I'm having sex and there's a lot of swearing,
Okay. Talking in general or swearing?
swearing,
Yeah.
It's just a turn off.
Oh, also, you don't have to censor yourself because we beep everything.
Oh,
So-
no.
Okay, yeah.
Like, just f me here, f me there.
If it feels like someone's just like reciting at me, I'm like, no, we're not.
That's how it feels. It feels
Right?
performative.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't.
Now I feel pressure. Like now I feel like I have to deliver a worthy
I
performance.
know.
What is one thing that would shock us about your sex life? Or one thing that you've done? I told you they got spicy.
They don't judge, but
Freddie is a safe space that won't judge.
I did when I was around maybe 19. I met this boy and we did not have anywhere to have sex. And there was this church in the community that
Church. Shut up.
And we went to the church about 5 p.m. and we did it. It felt
That's hot. That's fun. A church in the middle of the day in Jamaica in extremely like homophobic religious work. Is there anything that you've tried in the bedroom where you're like, okay, not for me?
no. I'm a freaky person. When I tell people like I like spit play, they're like, what? But you always,
spit play's fine.
it's fun. I wouldn't try fisting though.
I've been told they have a very desirable hand, and apparently tops are like a really rare commodity. If you meet people that are into it, their way of flirting with people is to like grab your hands and be like, oh, I love your hands. Like that's how people that are into flirt with you.
Oh no, I know.
They'll just be like, oh, I love your like fingers. I'm like, what? They're kind of stubby and
Yeah.
small. And they're like, no, that's great. Oh, we didn't do much snacks, did we?
I enjoyed this.
Thanks. Is there anything else that we should know about you or about Rainbow Railroad? What would you want Freddie's audience to know?
Check the organization out, donate if you can. They're doing life-saving work. The work that I do now with Friends of Ruby is also life changing. We're helping youth who are homeless.
Friends of Ruby take donations as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
they do.
Freddie is free, so you have money to spare. Donate. Like this content and want more? Subscribe to Freddie's channel here.